Hello, hello. How is everyone today? How is everyone? What is happening? What is happening? I just got out of the shower. Hot water. Hot water always makes me pink. I started using our VDL Lumi Layer Primer, right? VDL is one of those brands that Avon is now selling. Avon now sells multiple, us Avon reps now sell multiple brands. Hey, how are you? Hey, VDL. I'm actually enjoying this primer a lot. I'm enjoying it a lot. And enjoying it. I have not shown myself put on primer in a while. Just got out of the shower. I'm going to do my hair later. Sometimes it's just, you just need to get clean. Get it clean. Get this house is clean. This house is clean. Everybody used to say I was minded them as a little lady from Poltergeist. This house is clean. When that movie, saw it with a bunch of friends when it came out in high school, people were like, "Oh, Marilyn, that's you on screen." I'm 17 years old. Everyone's telling me I look like I was 50 then. That's why I settled right into being middle-aged, because I look like that my whole... Alright, here we go. See how good this coverage is? This is a Cashmere Complexion. Cashmere Complexion Foundation. Covers up a lifetime worth of sin. Rosacea, blemishes, enlarged pores. Enlarged pores. Oh, it just feels so good to get my hair washed. Just get to a point where it's so much work to style it sometimes. Sometimes it's like nothing. I have not been in the mood, but I will do it because I want to trim my hair. I like having it dry and straight for when I trim my ends, trim my own hair. I do my own hair. Because I know just how much I want to take off. Just how much. Right, where's my little contraption? It looks like a gynecological thing, but it's really, this thing is really a good brow stencil. Right, this is the Urban Skyline palette. I don't know how long we're going to have it because we've got new palettes coming out soon. So get it while you can. And I'm using, of course, because my hair's dark, really dark right now. Okay, I'm using a contour brush and the edge of the contour brush. Okay, so I'm going in here. Now I'm not going all the way up with that because I'm not doing Cruella today. I turn it, and then I have it here, and I turn it. I look like Elvis right now. When my hair's wet and I have no makeup on, I look like Elvis. I could do one of those, a drag king show. Be Elvis. My whole family has, my brother has, when he was young, he looked like the young Elvis. We have a similar, I think we have a similar background. One for the money. I can sing some Elvis songs. Will Facebook block me if I sing Elvis songs? I don't know. One for the money, two for the show. Oh, God. Stupid piece that I was trying to get out of the way here. So, yeah, this is totally from scratch. From primer to foundation to brows. This is how we get there. Most people are like, "Oh, you look so beautiful in your photos." Yeah. I have to get there. It takes a while. It takes a while to get there. There's some that are natural beauties, and there's some of us that create. We create. And the older I get, the goofier I get. But it's okay, you know. Be yourself, you know. Be yourself, except put 5 layers of makeup on and a push-up bra on. Groot Spanx. Heels. Yeah, be yourself. No, but that's all by choice, right? That's all by choice. Be yourself. Put on a whole new face. And oh. For me, it's not conforming. For me, it's about expression and creativity. And I love the transformation. The process of transformation. Okay, a little more makeup, a little more foundation. Little more! It's so nice outside. It's actually very warm. I almost felt like turning on the AC. Patrick's out walking the dog. He's on break right now, so I can be a little more crazy in here, because this is the office / beauty room. This is the teleworking. I worked here yesterday for hours and hours and hours because I had a fun weekend. Because I did fun things over the weekend and did not spend a portion of the weekend catching up on last week's paperwork. So I did, because I did do it over the weekend, and I had more paperwork to do last night, and I did it for hours and hours and hours. Because I do my own bookkeeping, and I do my own, all that stuff. All right, warm sunrise. Warm sunrise. Oh, I'm going to do some contour. A little bit. I just go around these 3 right here. And you could go up to that and have a little more. Oh, I'm going to add the highlight later. But add a little highlight. It's like a number 3. Can't see who else has been on here. For some reason. It'll show me 20 minutes after somebody's been on. Back these a little bit since we have daylight. Yeah, so it's our 14-year dating anniversary. 14 years ago. 14 years ago, I was standing at a bus stop. This is a funny story. Some of you may have heard it. Some of you might not have heard it. Those of you who might watch me later might not have heard it. Some of you know the story. So I was divorced for a year, and it was an amicable split. My ex still lived nearby. We were still friends, and part on good terms, no problems. I would still go visit his dad. You know, we just did. You know, after so many years, it's done. So anyway, I'm standing at the bus stop and waiting to take the bus to meet Patrick for dinner. And at that time, the restaurant that we were going to was Copeland's, which is a wonderful restaurant. I don't know if there's any Copeland's left anywhere, but it was wonderful. It was one of my favorite restaurants. Then it later changed to Hooters, and then later it closed completely. So, anyway, we couldn't go there later on for our anniversary dinner because it turned into Hooters. But anyway, at the time, I'm going to meet Patrick, Match.com date. He and I had talked on the phone only, messaged a little bit, and of course, he's not a chatter. He's not an online chatter. He's not one of those people that I would spend a month chatting back and forth, talking about this, that, and everything. No. We chat a little bit, talk on the phone a little bit. I could tell he wasn't crazy. Everything seemed fine. I even looked him up. I even did a little check. I always tell people, do a check. Googled him. Didn't, you know. Okay, now I'm doing number 1. So anyway, everything was all good. I'm meeting him for dinner. He's going to take me to dinner. And there was the restaurant was right down the road, but I still had to take the bus there because it was a hot day. It was May 4th. It was hot. It was warm, just like today. And so I'm sitting at the bus stop, and my ex-husband drives along and happens to be driving, and he sees me at the bus stop. He goes, "Hey, I see you waiting for the bus. Do you need a ride?" I said, "Okay." So he's like, "Where are you going?" And I said, "Oh, I'm going to Copeland's," right? And he's like, oh, okay, are you meeting some girlfriends from, at that time I'm still working at the salon. I hadn't even opened my shop yet. And I opened my shop like 6 months after I met Patrick. So anyway, I said, no. I said, actually, it's a Match.com date. And he laughed. He's like, I'm driving you to a Match.com date? And I'm like, well, yeah. And it's literally, it's like maybe 10 blocks. So by that point, it was like, it was just, well, I was talking about other stuff too. We're like, oh, how's it going? I don't know. Okay. So when I get out of the car, I'm like laughing at the ridiculousness of the fact that he's driving me to a Match.com date. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe, okay, thanks for the ride, bye. So then I walk in the door, right? And Patrick was sitting there waiting, and it was right on time, but he, how like you sit and you wait for a table, that little couch area, So he's sitting there waiting for me. I'm like, oh, Patrick? And he's like, yes. Because I'd seen this, obviously you've seen this picture, I said, oh, hi, how are you? And I'm like, I'm smiling, and I'm almost like laughing. And, and so, we shake his hand, and and then the host is like, okay, we'll sit you down. So, and I think I even had on my Match, I think I did, on my Match profile that I said I was divorced. So I tell him right away, I said, that was the icebreaker story that I said, you're never going to believe this. This is really kind of a wacky story. But, I was married before. I'm recently divorced. It was fine. We're on amicable terms. The funniest thing is I'm waiting for the bus stop, and my ex-husband just gave me a ride over here. And he was like, what? And so it was like a wacky story. And he was like, okay. So that just kicked off. If you ever have a lull of what not to talk, things to talk about on a date, this is kind of wacky story to talk about. So, we had a good laugh about that. And so then he even said, he's like, well, he said later, because DC has so many, I'm still using Warm Sunrise. Oh, there she is. There she's back. She's back from being outside with Daddy. Yeah, have a good time. Yeah. So, he said to me later, he said, DC is full of people who take themselves so seriously. Take themselves so seriously. That's a little fluffy brush. And he's like, I love the fact that you came in and you were smiling and have something to laugh about and had a good attitude and wasn't one of those serious DC women with take themselves so seriously and everything. And I said, oh God, no. I don't take things so seriously. Oh God, but and that was kind of like a funny little icebreaker, but it was just so funny. It was just like passing the torch or something. Just such a goofy thing. It was just like random. And then the fact that we hit it off. And then the fact that it could have been, because I actually met quite a few other dates before him. It was just dating different people. And it was like one of my favorite restaurants I'd always been meet. There were a lot of dates that I met there that did not work out. They weren't that good of dates. They were kind of like, people I didn't get along with, or it just wasn't the right fit, or just kind of goofy people, or not bad, but not the right fit for me. So luckily it worked out. All right, I'm gonna take Chocolate Sensation, but it's just so funny, and we still laugh about it 14 years later. Of course he met him. I don't know, I guess maybe we kept dating. I guess they met 3 months later when I went over, because I would still visit my old dog that was with my ex, because I was living in an apartment that didn't allow pets. So I would still go over and visit my dog, and I'd visit his dad, and all that kind of thing. So, I did his wife's makeup on here, if some of you all might remember. We're super, I'm like Auntie Marilyn to their daughter now. Things worked out in the best of ways. But it's just so funny. Remember that, honey? Telling the story of how we met? Mm-hmm. And how Kevin gave me a ride to Neil. It just happened that way. And you're just sitting there looking a little nervous and anxious, or, looking cute but nervous, like, oh, I hope she likes me kind of thing. And I come in and I'm just smiling. I would have been more nervous, but the situation had me just like, oh my God, this is such my life, the ridiculousness. All right, do it number 4. Anyway. Ridiculousness of my life, the coincidences and craziness of my life. And now we still, of course, later on when we kept dating, you know, of course, later on, you know, I think I still cut my ex-husband's hair because I cut his wife's hair, you know. So I was telling him, I said, you'll never believe this, but like, I kept seeing that guy that you drove me to that date, and we're seeing each other. You know, we all have a good laugh about it. It's all good, you know. It's all good. Life's reasonably good. There's a lot of weirdness there in 09, 010. A lot of stuff. We all, you know, the recession, and then we've had a weird, you know, it took us a lot of time to recover on my business and different stuff, and we moved away for a little bit of time and kind of recouped and had some different experiences, made some new friends and some other things, and kind of learned some different skills, and came back here and kind of put everything together, and then it's all good. But, you know, it's crazy how life is. It's very crazy. Crazy. It's crazy and crazier. Right, I'm going to go back to this number 1 in Warmth Over Eyes, where I did the highlight. Look at that. Look at that gleam of that highlight. Woo! I'm going to go back to it. But yeah, it's the funniest story. My life is full of funny stories like that. One funny story. Unusual, coincidental, and it usually happens when I'm in the middle of change, when I'm changing something. And new experiences and new things and new... Look at that. It's right there. Okay. New life. New life. Yes, I've worked on the closet some more. It looks, I have to keep reminding myself. I go to one side where my pants were for the past year, and I'm like, open it up. Where are my pants? And I'm like, oh, I moved them over to the other side. Where are my pants? Oh, they're over here. Wackiness. All right, I'm gonna add a touch of pink, a touch of more color, Little pink, just to cool it off a little. So what is happening? I'm putting in an order tonight. So if any local people, I've got this. This has been an amazing April and May. It's been an amazing month. I'm just so grateful. I just want to thank you all. Just great. More the depth. Having a deep conversation with this eyeshadow. I'm going deep. Having some deep thoughts with this shadow. Okay, now let's do some lips. Should we do some? Let's do some stain. This is the oops. Oh, my Kleenex is over there. Oh, I got one here. I rearranged some things. I usually keep the Kleenex right by my desk here so I could just grab it easily, and I put it over there so it was more closer to the desk when we're having our sneezing. Even though we both take allergy stuff, it's like, you know, a lot of sneezing right now. It's like, oh, it's a nice day. Let's open the windows. Sneeze. Okay, I always wipe off. This is our matte liquid lipstick, Avon matte liquid lipstick, and special doe-shaped foot, like doe, a deer, a female deer. And what is this color? This color is Persistent. I'm using the edge. Now you could also use the whole thing if you're going to do your whole lip, but I'm just lining the lip. Create a face. That's what I need to do. put together my own creative face kits for you all. Create a face. Create a Beba girl face. Okay. Now this one is ambitious. This is kind of like a nude. On some people it's nude, and other people it's more like a coral, depending on their skin tone. I love it. I love the combination of, and you would never think to combine these colors together, right? The combo of, now these dry very quickly too. The combo of taking something, this is pink-based red. Pink-based red. And as you see, when I first put it on, it looked almost fuchsia, right? And then this one is very warm. And you take this, put it in the center, and it kind of changes, I kind of work it through. But it gives you almost, it's almost like you took it's like the nude, but with more color to it. It's a matte look of a nude with more color. Because sometimes, to me, on me, you can see, sometimes it's not enough color. My lips almost disappear, and I kind of look, I feel like if my lips are too light, I almost get like, it amplifies that I have a shadow here. And I feel like in pictures, I end up looking like I have a mustache, especially if I have it, lined. I end up looking like pictures like I have a mustache, which I don't want that look. That's fine if you want that look, no judgments. Just cleaning up this brow, just letting. But, some people like a little combo of them. A couple different gender looks, that's fine, whatever. But for me, I like to have a little more of a lip. Alright, so, Glimmer sticks. Talk about the glimmer, talk about the shimmer. Put the glimmer on top of the shimmer in this case. Glimmer, shimmer. Do my little wing. We're going to get our second vaccines tomorrow. Yeah. No partying for Cinco de Mayo. But we had Mexican over the weekend. We had a really great Mexican meal. Then we got drinks. You get drinks. Now, of course, the restaurant sent me a link to say, how did we do? Right? And of course I go, and I got busy over the weekend, and so then I go to fill out the survey, and it's like, oh, the link won't work. Oh, how convenient, right? Well, it's supposed to be curbside delivery. So we pull up, and they go, oh, okay, your food, and you call this number, and I said, okay, and I said, okay, your food will be ready in 5 minutes. I said, okay. So we're waiting 5 minutes. Another lady pulls up. She calls, and they bring some food out. At first I thought it was ours, but it wasn't, And they go, oh, and I roll the window down. The guy goes, sorry, this is for her. And I was like, oh, okay. And it turned out they knew her, like maybe she's a good regular customer. He gives her food, and he stands there, talks to her, and him and this other woman, but the other woman went inside. He stands there and talks to her for about a good 5-10 minutes. And I'm thinking, okay, hanging out, chit-chatting, da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for our food. 15 minutes has gone by, waiting for our food. I call the number again, and I get ding, ding, ding. The number you have called, and was like, hello? Why is I just called this number like 15 minutes before to see what's going on with the food, and no food. And the number, they're saying the number's not in service, and this is the restaurant's number. So I was just like, okay, forget it. I'm going in. Now, of course, I'm wearing a mask, but the whole purpose of curbside pickup is for them to bring it out, so we don't go into the restaurant. And this was happy hour. Now, granted, we have mask rules in our county. We have things like this. The place was the most amount of people I've seen in a restaurant in a very, very long time. People in the bar section laughing, carrying on, tons of people waiting for tables, because so many people vaccinated, or people were just, the weather's nice, and people were just tired. They, whatever the reason. It was just packed full of people Friday afternoon, Friday happy hour. Friday after dinner time, at 6 o'clock on Friday. Then they have this carry-out little section, so I'm standing right there. There's a pickup window. Okay, so I stand there at the pickup window, there's nobody there. And some of the people see me who work there, and they happen to wave. They're like, "Oh, 1 minute, we'll get to you in 1 minute." I'm standing there, standing. Okay, waiting. Okay, and finally, I see the girl who had originally come out with that guy to talk to that other lady. And I go, "Excuse me, I'm here to pick up our food. No one has brought it out to us yet." Now, these are all things I would have never had the nerve. Like, you talked about the Marilyn that was 25 years old, the Marilyn that was even 30 years old, the Marilyn, and even me at 35 would have been like, "Oh, honey, can you go in? I can't, no. I've been through too much in life, I just don't have, especially some little girl, I hate to say it. I'm short too, so people often refer to me as little girl. But if you're short and you're under 25 and you have pigtails, okay, people are going to refer to you as a little girl, okay? Especially if you give off that, "Hi," kind of vibe. Okay, so there's the little girl, the young woman, I should say, to be respectful, with her little piggy tails, and I said, "Hi, remember, we were waiting for our food. Oh, it's over at the bar," and the bar's got a lot of people there. And I go, "Well, can you bring it to me?" Well, hang on a minute. So she goes up to the bar. Our bag of food is back by that bar. Meanwhile, there's tons of people. And the food's back there. And then she talks to the people, the two bartenders back there, and she says, "Can you just come to the bar and pick it up?" And I was just like, I guess this is the only way I'm going to get our food. So I get there, and then the two bartenders are then pouring our drinks, getting our drinks, and so we can take home. These are the two drinks that we were talking about when we did that video that night. And then gives me my bag of food, and all that, and then we leave. We left it, we pulled up. It's at 5:45. That was a half hour total for this whole thing. So I wanted to, me, I'm gonna go in on reviews, and but of course the link wouldn't work. So I may even go to call the manager or something. I don't know, but you got to pick your battles. It was a busy day. Everybody's short-staffed, but the problem is with management and these kinds of things and the pandemic and this. Sometimes people are used to it being very slow, and then they get overwhelmed. But still, if the food's there, she could have brought me my bag of food. She could have said, "Okay, I'll get you your drinks in a second." There were so many ways it could have been handled better. It could have been there at the window when we first walk in. It could have been handled. Why was the phone running to not in service? I was just like, okay, I'm done. I don't know. We had great food. We had great drinks, but I don't know when I'm going to go back because this was such an aggravating situation. And I was like, I hate it when the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. And that kind of thing. But yeah, if you want to have respect and you want to be treated like an adult and you walk around, hey, that kind of thing is just like, oh my God. That kind of thing makes me crazy, makes me crazy. And then have attitude on top of everything to boot. Like, can't you come to the bar, Such a thing as there's a reason why we have curbside is so that I don't have to come in and don't have to be around all these people. And we're both sitting there wearing masks. It's like we're wearing masks for a reason. It's a pandemic here. But that's my gripe of the day. My gripe of the gripes. What else am I gonna gripe about? There's always something to gripe about. Because I'm like, come on now. And then when I came out, there were like 6 other cars all waiting for their food. And I'm thinking, well, they just saw me come out with our drinks and my bag of food. And they're thinking, oh God. And I felt like tell every one of those people, you're going to have to just go on in and get your stuff. Who knows how long it'll take for them to get their butts in gear to bring it back out to you. Oh, but that first lady got all that great treatment. We don't know what was going on with her. And remember, honey? Mm-hmm. And then he was like, well, I don't know why they're standing hanging out. Like, she's like, she must have come there every day, hanging out, talking to her like his best friend or something. All right, Love at First Lash mascara. Oh, God. Oh. Adventures in retail and restaurants. But a lot of it has to do with, and I am highly critical because I myself have been in the service industry for 40 years. Even before that, if you consider like home babysitting or cutting lawns, that's still service industry, right? So if you consider that, from the time he has been alive, I have been in the service industry. Since 1978, I have been doing something, giving a service to customers for money, for babysitting or cutting grass or raking leaves or something, since I was 12, 13 years old. And, yeah, 13. Yeah, since I was 13, 78, when I first started doing stuff. If you can imagine that. As long as he has been alive, I have been giving good customer service. I just wouldn't play those games. I just don't have time for that kind of... I just don't have time for that kind of garbage. La-di-da, you know. I think it was that other time I had that story where the girl was just like taking her sweet time and it reminded me, la-di-da-di-da. And I was just like, honey, come on. I was just thinking about that time in Target, honey, when you were trying on those pants. I just thought about that, too. Oh, God. That was another funny story.
We ain't getting any younger.
Oh, so it was 2 or 3 days after Christmas, and Patrick needed some new pants for work. And it was either 2 or 3 days before Christmas or 2 or 3 days after Christmas. I can't really remember. All I know is there was a lot of people in the store at Target, in the men's department, and there was only 2 dressing rooms. Only 2 dressing rooms, and there was an older lady with her husband who apparently she needed to help him put things on and off, okay? He was not physically able to just put on a pair, look at it, da-da-da. She's helping him, okay? So... And then there was a lot of other people behind us. And Patrick was in the other dressing room. And I'm bringing clothes to Patrick. And we had waited ourselves for a long time. So I'm bringing things. Or I've got my hands full. And he's trying one on, trying one on. And this guy, who's like two people back, goes, good Lord, what is it taking so long? and it's taking all day. And then this lady yells from another dressing room, I'm sorry, I'm helping an old man. Help. And he goes, well, we're not getting any younger. Standing out here. I'm getting old too. We're not getting any younger standing out here in line. Oh, God. And Patrick, it was the first time, it was back when skinny jeans first came in. And I didn't know that I handed him some skinny jeans, and he'd put these pants on. He's like, I can put these pants. Your legs look so little. Oh, God. He's like, who in the world could wear these things? Oh, God. It's so funny. Shopping adventures. You know, there are a lot of times we go places and nothing happens, you know. It's just a mundane kind of trip. But then there's this other time. I'm getting old standing here, not getting any younger. Please, he's an old man. I'm helping him. Oh, God. But it's scary when sometimes people get so upset like that. They start yelling or freaking out. All right, now going over with the waterproof. Look at these lashes. A lot of funny things happen. But yeah, now I'm just like, I don't have the patience, especially post-band, after everything. just don't have time for people to do, not do something what they're supposed to do the way they're supposed to do it. And it's not a, let me speak to the manager kind of thing. It's not like that. It's just, because I know so half the time when I get to the manager has no idea what you're upset about because they're, they don't know how things are supposed to go either. Or somebody didn't train them all that well. And so in a way, it's not their fault, but at the same time, it's not good. Well, is she halfway up again? You can come up. You can come up. Yep. She gets halfway up the steps and then gets stuck. And then if you get her, encourage her, she'll come up on her own. I wonder if she's stuck. She gets like halfway and she can't turn herself around. Is she there? No, you can come up. Daddy will help you. Daddy. Oh, Daddy, save me. Oh. Sometimes she just doesn't get attention. It's really bad in the middle of the night. All of a sudden you start hearing the whining, and it's like, what is it? Oh, she got herself stuck on the steps. Oh, so Daddy, save.
Need an elevator for this little girl.
Oh, look. So, see, look, it's all about Daddy. Yes, it is all about Daddy, yes. See, I go to pet her, she looks at Daddy. And if Daddy's not around, she loves me. But if Patrick's around, it's all about Patrick. Patrick! Yes, you're fine. You were just here. I thought you were still up here, and then I hear the whining. All right, we're doing magic dust. Simple, easy. Easy breezy. That's another brand. Look. This is so wonderful, this translucent powder, because it has a little bit of a glow. You can see there's a glow. And it helps. Hey, how are you? It helps kind of hide enlarged pores and helps soften the look of wrinkles. And yeah. I'm just going to add a little extra punch with putting this is the Glimmer Kiss on top, just for a little extra shimmer. Get above the words here. There we go. Yeah, much better. Oh, I feel like myself again. Transform. Alright, this is the makeup setting spray. And I think that's it. So if anybody has any questions about the products I'm using, you message me at any time. If you're local and you need to put in an order, message me. Everything I'm using is Avon. Sometimes I use a few other brands, but today it was all Avon. And if you'd like to join my team, we have a $5 sign up or $30. $5 if you just want to join on your own and not have to buy things later, enjoy the discount. Or if you want to join for $30, you get your choice of 3 different kits right now, starter kits. One is skincare, and fragrance, and body care, and then the other one is makeup. So you get your choice. So if you want to do that and just get things, enjoy the discount. Or build your team, do it as a side gig, however way you want to work it. Yeah, so thanks always for the support, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and have a great lunch. Have a lovely lunch. Thanks always. Don't forget to share this my videos with anyone who likes beauty and style, or just someone who might need a smile. Okay? Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.